Have you ever had that feeling? You know, your company is growing, you've hired smart, motivated people, but everything just feels heavy, like you're wading through mud. Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig into exactly why that happens. And here's a hint. It's probably not a talent problem. It's a hidden bottleneck that trips up even the very best teams. All right, let's get into it.
It all starts with this feeling, a sense that the business, which used to be so fast and light on its feet, is now carrying some kind of invisible weight.
I mean, this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? That simple shift from minutes to days, that's where all the friction starts. It's that moment when founders realize that the very things that made them successful in the first place, speed, gut feelings, quick chats in the hallway, are somehow starting to work against them.
Okay, take a look at these symptoms. Does any of this sound painfully familiar? Maybe it's that delegation that just boomerangs right back to you. Or you've got that handful of heroes who are the only ones who can put out the fires. Look, these aren't just random problems. They're all blinking red lights for a single, much deeper issue.
So if you're seeing those symptoms, it is so easy to jump to the completely wrong conclusion about what's actually causing them. Let's get really clear on what the real bottleneck is.
This slide right here just nails the classic mistake so many leaders make. Your first instinct is to think, oh, it's a people problem. Is my team not skilled enough? Are they not motivated? But that's almost never the case. The real issue is that your company's own success has completely outgrown the informal, scrappy system that used to be your biggest strength. Which, of course, brings us to the big question. If it's not the people, what is this invisible force that's grinding everything to a halt? It's this: decision latency. It's the gap, right? That empty space of time between a question being asked and an answer actually being given. It sounds so simple, but this delay is the real root cause of that heavy feeling, and believe me, it has massive, massive downstream effects. And that gap, it's not just empty time. It is incredibly expensive. Let's actually look at the real tangible cost of waiting around for decisions. Now, this is the part that really hurts. The delay doesn't just put a project on pause. See, while your team is waiting for a decision, they don't just sit on their hands. They start creating new, what we call, secondary work, just to fill the void. This chart should be a little startling for any leader. Just look at this. A huge chunk of your team's day, sometimes more than half, can get completely eaten up by this secondary work. We're talking about meetings to guess at priorities, endless Slack threads trying to get some clarity, or people creating 2 or 3 versions of a project just in case. It all looks like work, it feels like work, but it's not actual progress. It's the tax you pay for slow decisions. And here's how this trap usually works. When the system for making decisions is fuzzy, everything, and I mean everything, defaults to the founder. Every question, every exception, every tiny clarification has to pass through one single person's calendar. And just like that, the business can only move as fast as that one person. The founder literally becomes the ceiling on growth. So this all boils down to 3 huge warning signs. Number 1, you're the bottleneck, stuck in every little decision. 2, your company depends on a few heroes to function. And 3, there's this decision fog where everyone's kind of hesitant, afraid to make a call. If you see these signs, you have to remember, you don't have a talent problem, you have a system problem. But here's the good news. System problems have system solutions. This isn't about finding better people, it's about building a better structure for the great people you already have. All right, let's hit the first problem head on. The founder acting as the central router for every single decision. The solution isn't for the founder to just work faster or harder. It's to install clear guardrails. This means defining what actually needs to be escalated versus what the team is totally empowered to handle on their own. It creates other pathways for decisions so they don't all lead to one single desk. Next up is that super frustrating thing we call delegation snapback. Where you hand off a task only to have it bounce right back to you with a dozen questions or for a final sign-off. And the fix for that is making decision rights explicit. When people know exactly what they're allowed to decide, what needs input from others, and what they truly own from start to finish, delegation finally sticks. It's not really about trust, it's about clarity. So all these individual fixes are really just parts of a bigger machine. A sustainable operating system for your business isn't built on heroics or last-minute saves. It's built on a predictable rhythm, super clear ownership, and well-defined rules for when to raise a flag. It's all about designing a system that works even when things get chaotic. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like a massive overhaul, but you don't have to boil the ocean here. You can actually test this whole approach and see a real, clear signal of improvement in just 90 days. Here's the 90-day game plan. In month 1, you just make the problem visible. Map out where decisions are actually getting stuck. In month 2, you install the absolute basics, a simple weekly rhythm and some clear decision rights. And then, in month 3, you test it out and you measure. You are not looking for perfection. You're just looking for a clear signal that the business is starting to feel lighter again.
And just remember, the whole point of this isn't to create some perfect bureaucratic machine. It's simply to get clarity, to correctly diagnose the problem. Because once you realize you have an operational issue, not an emotional one about your team's talent, well, the path forward becomes so much clearer.
So, I'll leave you with this question. Think about your own company. After everything we've just gone through, can you name it? What is the single biggest decision bottleneck that's slowing you down right now? Because just identifying it, that is the first and honestly the most important step to getting things moving again.